It's been a quiet week, as you can imagine, but no, it's excitement. You know, obviously when we reached the MLS Cup final, you know, there's an excitement around the team and around the club. So this week has been about preparing for Houston, preparing for the game on Saturday. So it's been an enjoyable week.
Scott.
David, what have your emotions been like knowing that this is the last game?
Like I said, it's more excitement at the moment leading into the game. I know that I'm quite an emotional person, so I know that I'll feel more emotion probably the day of the game and maybe the night before the game. But no, I'm just really excited about the game. You know, to be in you know, a third MLS Cup final. And especially a second one that's being played in our own stadium. I'm excited and it's going to be special.
Abraham.
Machine that you have been for the league and the same good player. Can you name one or two?
You know, I think there's many players that could come into this league and into this team. You know, but you know, it's obviously down to, you know, the owners, the club, to decide who comes in next. But yeah, I've enjoyed my time here, and the players that I've spoke to that play in Europe, you know, they're always interested in how the league is and how the team is and how playing here is. So there's definite interest from players, but who will come in, I don't know. We'll see.
Paul, right here.
David, reflecting on your 6 years here, perhaps a humorous moment, was there ever a time where you said to yourself, you looked onto the field or into the stands or whatever the case may be, and you said, you know, soccer only in America?
No, you know, even after 6 years, I think you know, I'm still personally getting used to calling it soccer. I still have my moments of saying football, but you know, to me, it will always be football. But you know, I have adapted myself over the years, and I think I've done pretty well maybe in the last year.
Grant.
David, the MLS commissioner has announced a goal that MLS become one of the world's top leagues by 2022. Is that a realistic goal, in your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, I think the commission has done an incredible job especially in the last 5-6 years, you know, raising the profile of this league and getting it to a position where now this league is a real stable league. You know, we can't forget that the league is only, you know, it's 17 years old, and that's relatively or very young for, you know, a league. So the position we're in at the moment, the interest that is around and that surrounds this league is pretty good. So we've, you know, it's there to get to that position. It's there to be able to, you know, reach a level that can compete with some of the best leagues in the world. You know, the interest now, when it's talked about this league in Europe, people are starting to take it very seriously, and that's an amazing thing to see.
Right down here, Arash.
David, we talked about how much the league has grown. How much have you grown? I mean, obviously you came in with high expectations or some highs and lows. How have you grown during this time?
I think I've matured even more so as a player. I think as you get older and you play more years in this game, you know, your mind gets a bit quicker, to be honest. You know, the legs might be a little bit slower than they were when I was 21 years old, but I've always said it, I've never been a quick player. So, you know, speed and pace has never been an issue for me in my game. So, but I think, you know, with your mind, you become more clever. You become, you know, you look at players like Ryan Giggs and Paul Scholes, and you know, they're playing in a top league at their age, and you know, they adjust to it. And I think that you tend to do that over the years when you become older.
Brian Strauss.
David, I was wondering if you've noticed an evolution in the sophistication of the American soccer fan in your time here. You've been cheered and booed at home, you've been cheered and booed on the road, and I wonder if you've noticed a growth, and if you've enjoyed playing the villain at times as well as the hero.
I've played the villains quite a few times over my career, not just in the US. I've had it in certain other places where I've played, and I've never been booed by my own fans with other clubs. But I had that at a certain point here, and I overcame that. And I think we've kind of won the fans around now, and I think they're very appreciative to what the team has done over the last 3 or 4 years. I think that we're in a position now where we travel to most places around the US and we sell out stadiums, and that is something that we're very proud of as a club. We're very proud to travel around and sell out stadiums. And I think, I've always said it, even when I stop for gas in Carson and people come up to me and they know nothing about the game and they're like, we're coming to your game this weekend. So we've got support and interest from all different kinds of people and people that wouldn't usually come to a soccer game. So I think it's a special place at the moment.
Right here, Jay.
David, you talked about the ownership and kind of what the idea of maybe bringing another player like yourself in here. My understanding is that you're part of that, potentially that recruiting process. What do you say to players in terms of your recruitment to bring them over here to MLS? What is your pitch?
My pitch is simple. If you want to be part of something that is going to be big, because when Tim Lewicki came to me 6 years ago in my house, it's exactly what he said to me. He said, soccer's not, one of the biggest sports in the US, but one day it will be. And I believed him, and it's something that when I first come over here, I committed to this league, I committed to this team, and I committed to growing this league. Just because I'm not playing here anymore after the weekend, my commitment stays the same. And I'll do anything to keep these players coming over, like Robbie Keane, like Thierry Henry, and anything that I can do on that side of things, I want to do.
Why?
Because I want to see this league continue to grow. I think, and I know it's the #1 sport in the world. There's other great sports here, of course, but I believe that it can compete with the basketball. I believe it can compete with American football and baseball. So that's why I'm totally committed to that.
Third row here on the end.
What part do you think you personally played in raising the profile of this league? And try not to be shy about it.
I can't help the shyness, but to be honest, I've said it all the way along that I think it's down to other people to decide what my impact on the game here has been and on the sport. I always said from day one that as soon as I came here, of course there was going to be a certain amount of interest and a certain amount of interest around the world. And when I've been back to Europe and when I go back to England, especially at Christmas, and I'm watching Sky Sports and they're talking about the MLS and they're talking about, and they're talking about the Galaxy, Seattle, Red Bull, there's interest there now. So if that's what I've brought to this league, then great. Hopefully it's in a great position now to continue to grow.
Scott.
David, I actually got 2 questions for you. Well, first off, there were reports a few days ago that your representatives were talking to the Cosmos about possibly being a player/owner. Can you address those? Would you be willing to play in a second division league? And your thoughts on that this might be Landon's last game?
I've been hearing the Cosmos thing for the last 2 or 3 years. No, that's not true. My manager has definitely not had conversations on that side, and so that's definitely not true. And obviously with Landon, I think that obviously he's said over the last 4 or 5 months a couple of times about he's possibly gonna finish this season. And, Landon's a great player. He's a great talent. He's a special talent in this team and a special talent in this country. And he's still young. So I personally hope that he doesn't stop playing because I believe that he's still got a good few years left in him. whether he needs a break, whether he needs to just step away from the game for a while and then come back. But, 30 years old is still young. And, I hope he continues. So let's hope this is not his last game. And let's hope that, when he spoke about, he didn't have the hunger like he used to. Let's hope that was just, a moment that he had, because, from what I see when he's on the training field and on the field, the hunger's still there for me. So I hope a talented player like him continues to play for this club.
Tan jacket, 7 rows back.
What motivates you? Do you feel you have some unfinished business?
It could be a really nice way to bail out. But I do believe I've still got another challenge inside me. I do feel like I can still play for, I don't know how many years left, but I do still feel like I can still play. And I've had an amazing time here. I've had an amazing time playing here for the last 6 years. And like I said before, last year felt the right time to step away because it was the end of my 5-year contract. Winning the championship in my last year in our own stadium in front of our own fans kind of felt right to leave. And then I discussed it with my family, and I just thought, I felt like I had some unfinished business here, and rightly so, because I came into this season and going through to the MLS Cup final. Now it feels right. It feels the right time, and that's why I came to the decision. But as for the future, I said last week that I've got some interesting and exciting options on the table. I'm very flattered by some of the options that I've got. I still feel like I can play, and I still am not considering retiring.
We'll go one right
there, and here at Galaxy, beyond your playing career, can you just clarify in terms of possible ownership structure?
I heard the Monaco thing on the way to training this morning from a friend in London. Said, I hear you're going to Monaco. So that was the first I'd heard of that. But like I said, I'm very flattered by some of the interest that I've had, and some serious interest that I've had. So I said yesterday that it's always nice to be recognised by managers and good managers, and the fact that I've still got managers like Carlo Ancelotti and Harry Redknapp and Sam Allardyce, managers like this that are coming out and saying they'd love me to play, and they know how professional I am. It means a lot to me. It's what I've tried to base my career around, my whole career around over the years, being professional and working hard, and it's nice to be recognised like that. But what was the second part of the question? Ownership. Yeah. Obviously now I'm finishing playing after the weekend. The ownership part comes into play, and it's something that I'm excited about. It's something that, again, I think proves my commitment to the league and to whatever club I become part owner or owner of. So I'm excited about that. I will always be committed to the Galaxy in some way because I've been here for 6 years, and it's like like Manchester United, like Real Madrid, it becomes a home for me.
Jonah.
Dave, you talked about other challenges, you actually just mentioned Real Madrid and Manchester United. The Galaxy had a chance to perhaps go further again in the Champions League and then perhaps play against one of your former clubs at one World Cup, the tournament that actually matters. Was that ever a consideration in sticking around, and why wouldn't it be?
I'm happy that the team are in the position we are, and the reason that we've done well this season is because we're a team, we're a complete team, and we've got a lot of character, and the fact that we're in the Champions League is a huge thing. As for sticking around for it, that's not going to happen. My last game will be this Saturday for the Galaxy, and like I said, I won't be sticking around for the Champions League, but I'll be supporting the guys.
Right here.
David, why is now the right time for you to step away from the Galaxy?
I thought last year was the right time, but after sitting down with my family, like I said, I felt that I had another year in me, and I felt that I had some unfinished business with the Galaxy and with winning another trophy. my mind is set now. I believe that I've done everything that I can. Succeeded in winning a championship and hopefully another championship on Saturday with the Galaxy, which won't be easy, by the way. We're coming up against the Houston team that is an exceptional team, so it's going to be a difficult game. But I just feel, as a player, as a professional, sometimes it's hard to walk away from places, and it will definitely be hard for me to walk away from the Galaxy because I've gained a lot of friends here on and off the field, and we've got an amazing franchise that's run unbelievably well by the owners, but it's just not about the owners. It's not about the players and the staff that we've got around us. We've got amazing fans, we've got amazing backroom staff that do a hell of a job to get us to where we are today. So I'm gonna miss all of them.
Omar.
David, you said it already, but in the first few years, there were some rough moments. How much pressure did you feel at the time, either from yourself or from outside forces, to live up to fans' expectations? And then, after the Achilles injury, coming back, you seemed to get better. So what changed after that?
I felt no pressure whatsoever. I've been in this position before, unfortunately, or fortunately, because then I know and I understand how to handle it. And I've had abuse from fans before. That's a kind of a week in and week out thing. When you play in Europe and you go away to opposing grounds, it happens. You're booed, you're jeered, and it's one of those things that happens. So I'm used to that side of it, and I'm thankful it's not like that anymore, because it's never a happy moment stepping out into your own stadium and being booed by your own fans and seeing some of the banners that were out up there. But it is what it was at the time. It happens. The fans wasn't happy, and I just did what I always do, which is talk on the field and work hard, and hopefully I turn people around. If I don't, then that's the way it is. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it, but at the end of the day, I was happy that I turned it around, and I think now a majority of the fans are on my side.
Rigo.
What do you see football history placing you at the end of your career, considering there is the Charlton, the Bobby Moore, the Stefanos Palermo, and all that, among the first 5, 10, 20 players in the world?
What do I don't know. I can't be talked to in the same breath as majority of these players like Sir Bobby Moore and Sir Bobby Charlton, and players like this. I'm honoured to have played for my country. I'm honoured to have played for the teams that I've played throughout my career. And I was honoured to have spent some time with Sir Bobby Charlton over the years with Manchester United, and he was my dad's favourite player. He was my favourite player, and to spend the time that I had with him was a dream come true. And to even be talked about in the same breath as some of these players, it's a dream of mine from a very young age. So,
Stephen.
David, I was wondering if you could speak of Bruce, and how he's been able to balance your demands and also the different dynamics of this team over the last couple of years.
Bruce is what changed this team for me 4 years ago. Because before this, someone's calling. I don't know. Do you want me to answer it? It's not Samsung. Sorry, I can't. Sorry, what was the question? I can't remember the question. About Bruce. Yeah, Bruce. For me, 4 years ago, he was the manager that came in and changed this, because when I first moved here, we kind of was jumping from manager to manager and coach to coach, and the team was not settled in any way. We didn't have any stability, and the first year and a half was kind of very unsettling, and it wasn't a great place to be. And then Bruce came in, settled everything down, and that's the reason we've had the success that we have in the last 4 years. He's a great man manager. The way he looks after the players, the way he looks after the team, the way he treats the players. He's strong and harsh when he needs to be, but he also puts his arm around you and has a joke with you when you need that. And I think that's important with management. So, you know, I owe a lot to Bruce and his staff, because the work that they've done has been incredible, and it's been an honour working with him for the last 4 years.
Last few questions here, Annika.
Because I love a challenge, and I feel as if I've done everything that I wanted and set myself out to do in this team and within the Galaxy. I was actually trying to tell one of the players the other day that I was kind of like a quarterback, like a Tom Brady. You know, I was on the ball and waiting for players to move, and he was like, "No, you're not. You're nothing like Tom Brady." But come on. But no, you know, I've had an amazing 6 years here. Simple as that. It's been a great experience. It's been a challenge in the first couple of years, but a challenge that I knew that I was going to be up against, and a challenge that I knew that I was going to succeed in. And winning the championship last year was for me the icing on the cake on the field. Off the field, we've done a lot of hard work, not just myself, but you know, the people around the league, the owners around the league, the commissioner, the work that's been done, the academies that have been set up in every MLS team now to bring young players through from a club into a professional situation. You know, they're the kind of foundations that this league needs, and to, you know, to congratulate, you know, the commissioner and to everybody that's done that hard work, because it's what happens in Europe, it's what happens in the best leagues in the world, and now it's happening here. So the future's going to be bright.
All right, start where we ended where we started. Adam.
David, talking a little about the game, what do you think about Brad Davis as a player? And he's fairly good at judging his own set piece. How do you guys preparing for that?
You know, I was sad for Brad for last year, you know, for him missing out on the final last year, a player that had an exceptional season. Unfortunately, won the assists thing last year, just in front of me by one, I think it was, in the end. He's a great player, and I was sad to see him. I know he's a great guy as well, so it's great to see him fully fit. It's great to see him playing this weekend. I hope he doesn't play well, to be honest. But I know that he's a very good player. He's got a great left foot. He can deliver balls anywhere he wants to, and he's a player that, you know, you try to do your homework on. But sometimes when players are that good, you know, it's hard to do that. You just have to be on it on the day and on him on the day. As simple as that. So, you know, they've got him. They've got other players throughout their team. But you know, I'm really happy for Brad to be playing in this game, because it's never nice for a player to miss out on a final.